Hello everybody, I'm going to do a Adobe Photoshop 6 basic kind of tutorial for people that are beginners. And if you are intermediate and or a professional hardcore Photoshop person, some tips or whatever, just post down at the comments. Be kind. I'm not the, I do this as a lot of fun and I teach this, but I'm sure there are probably better ways to do some things. Now, I just click on File, New, and or you can go Command N, which would be New, and I just named it Starter Kit. And we're going to go 800 by 600. You have pixels, inches, and some other things here, and 300 resolution and RGB. You can select other resolutions. You can go CMYK if you want print. I'm going to have my background as transparent. Just go OK. And now what we're going to do, you have your selector tool, your elliptical marquee tool, and if you click and hold down over the elliptical marquee tool, you can see you have several different options here. You have a rectangle, or elliptical, single row, single column. I'm just going to go to elliptical. And one of the cool things is up here where there's a feather, you can feather this to where I'll show you. If you click and drag, it'll make a circle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in this circle. Now I have it at feather 0, so if I select my paint bucket, and then down here is your color red, foreground, black is your background. So you can reverse them here just by clicking that, toggle between them, black, red. We're going to have red. Click in there, and then it's going to make a solid red dot. Now, Command Z is undo. If we go back to the elliptical marquee tool, and we feather this to 50, then I paint inside the circle. Wait a minute, hold on. Ding, ding, 50. Gotta make a new circle. And try it. There you go. See how it feathers it for 50 pixels around. So you can do that. And that would be kind of a cool effect if you wanted to do that. But right now, what we're going to do is make that a 0. We're just going to make a simple circle logo for right now. And I'm going to, this is your paint bucket tool. You have gradient, paint bucket, and 3D material drop tool. So you can go gradient, that's really cool. We're not going to mess with 3D in this one, but paint bucket, just click on there and make a red dot. All right. Oh, whoopsie. And okay, if you go to selector, you can actually move this dot around a little bit. Right there's fine. And what we are going to do is we select the elliptical marquee tool, actually go in here and do some other things to this. If you wanted to just delete the center, you can do that. You don't have to, but I like to have my layers open. There's one layer here, and if we go to layer, layer style, bevel and emboss, and you can make the depth of this bevel, the size of this bevel. You can make it look like a ring. Soften a little bit if you want to. And stroke, I don't like stroke on this particular one. You can do a drop shadow if you would like. See that? Drop shadow is pretty cool. And if you see how the bevel and emboss is blue, so it's going to show you how you can change the bevel and emboss. Get on here and you actually make the drop shadow blue. You can change the drop shadow, spread of it, distance of it, size of it, all that good stuff. Noise. I don't like the noise. Distance. Just click OK. There's lots of other options in that as well. Now what we're going to do is actually pull my layers off here. This right down here, it's a page turn icon. Click on that, it'll make you a new layer. I want to drag it and put it below layer 1. And I'm actually going to put something in here. Now this is all going to show up behind the red. Now I just switch this because I don't want to change my red. Click on the black, and I'm going to make this, let's make it a purple blue type color. Oops. Drop it in there. There you go. And we'll go select. This is the horizontal type tool. My name is Joshua, so I'm just going to use a J. And if you go, you can just type it in. And if you go Shift and go towards your left, it will actually select the J, and you can change the color up here, or the font to whatever you want. Lots of different options. Just pick one that you like. Pick a font that you like. Put that in the center there, and you can do lots of different things to this. One of the things I like to do to a lot of different elements, you can go to Edit, Transform, Scale it, and you can scale it however you want to if you just click it. But if you hold down Shift, it will hold its proportions. So if you don't, like I'm letting go of it, it'll do whatever your right hand does. But if you hold down Shift, it will make it large and can hold the proportions. So once you have it to where you like it, just hit Enter, and there you go. And say we don't like that color, just select it, and you can change it to whatever color you want. There you go. If you go up to Layer Style, you can go Stroke, Bevel and Emboss, or whatever you want on there. Outer Glow, like that one. Drop Shadow, Passing, Distance of the shadow. Whatever. So it's like a game show piece or whatever. But that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's very, very, very basic. Now what we're going to do is go File, Save As, Starter Kit, PSD. Just going to drop it on the desktop, no big deal. It's a Photoshop. You can also save it as any of these if you want to. Click on Save, and there you go. Now all these elements, you can turn them on and off if you like, or you can save it as something, merge them all together if you want to. But we have saved it to the desktop, so I'm going to quit Photoshop. We're going to save it, and now I am in Premiere. So if you haven't used Premiere, you can use any other editing program to do a lot of this stuff. But Premiere is pretty cool because what we're going to do is import the file that we just made. Starter Kit PSD import. Now it's going to prompt us to merge all layers, import it as individual layers, or merge layers, or sequence. We're going to go individual layers, so it's going to import them into individual layers. But so it's 3 different types. Now what you can do is these come in as footage, and then if you want, you can put it together like that. Actually, the blue one goes on the bottom, doesn't it? And we're going to take the red one and put it on layer 2. Go up. There you go, and there's our logo. Now, you can do lots of different effects to these if you want to, or let's zoom in here a little bit. I'm going to make them smaller. You can do lots of different things. Info effects, markers, media browser, whatever. Now let's say we don't like the J. We're in here and we're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, what you can actually do is open up Photoshop again. I should have closed it out. File, open Recent Starter Kit, and let's change the J. Whoops. Delete the J to an S. Now, the cool thing about Photoshop, you just save it, minimize this, and that updates right in your timeline. Doesn't matter how much you've edited, it'll update it all the time. So there you go. It's a very simple little tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Post your comments. Don't be too mean.